Tonight's homework is on measurement, and so let's start with number 1. An octagon and its side lengths are shown. Octagon is an 8-sided figure. Shape or figure, right? What is the perimeter of the octagon in meters? Make sure that you underline that, and perimeter means to add all sides. So I'm going to look to see, I have 2 8 5/10, and I'm going to add that up, drop my decimal, regroup my 1. 8 and 8 is 16 plus 1 is 17. Now I'm going to take a look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6, 5, and 3/10. So I can multiply that, or if you want to, you can add those up. 5 and 3/10 and 5 and 3/10 plus 5 and 3/10, and then on the other side as well. 6 times 3 equals 18. Regroup my 1. Order of operations. 6 times 5 is 30 plus 1 equals 31. Now I'm going to add those together. So 31 and 8/10 equals 8/10. Now take a look at what I'm doing. I am going to start using my answer choices to see which one's going to which one it'll be based on how I'm adding that up. 7 plus 1 equals 8. 3 plus 1 equals 4. So I can see that I have 48 and 8/10. I had to really look because this was throwing me off, and then I had that one there. So I can eliminate one. So the answer is A. I had to find the perimeter. Make sure, remember, you're going to be using a computer, so everything is online. So you're going to need to pull that information out on paper. Make sure that you write perimeter on your paper, add all sides, and then show your work. Don't do it in your head. Show your work. Let's go to this next one. Holly made a jewelry box shaped like a rectangular prism. Rectangular prism, I know that it's a rectangle and it's going to be 3D. I'm going to continue to read. The length of the box, length right here, of the base, not the box, but the base is 8 centimeters, and the width is 26 centimeters. What is the area of the base of the jewelry box in square centimeters? So I'm going to draw just the base of the jewelry box. It's going to be in a rectangle. The length is 8 centimeters, and the width is 26 centimeters. Remember to draw as many pictures as you can so that you can see what it looks like, what it's telling you. I kind of do that. That was bothering me a little bit. Every formula that you see, you need to write it down because it is easier to replace the letters with numbers. So this is a great habit to get into. You will need that as you advance further in your mathematical skills, mathematical curriculum or academics. So I'm looking for the area. I wrote that out. Remember, you are going to have this sheet available. Look at the subtitle for area for a rectangle, or the rectangle base, length times width, and that's where you're going to have it. Okay, so you're going to have this available online. If you want the paper copy, you need to raise your hand, and your teacher's going to bring that to you, either myself, Ms. Fadias, or Mrs. Reeves, and they're going to have that information for you. So now I'm going to multiply. The length, here's the L, is 8. So I'm going to replace this L. So area equals, I'm going to replace the L, replace it with an 8 times the width, here's the W, is 26. So I'm going to replace that with the 26. Now I'm going to multiply this out. 26 times 8. 8 times 6 equals 48. 8 times 2 is 16, plus 4 is 20. So then the answer is 208. Because it's area, it's in square centimeters. Okay, there we go. So let's move to the next page. All right, question 3. Miss Lynn used a box with a volume of 64 cubic inches to ship a package. Select all the boxes that could represent the box Miss Lynn used. Okay, I'm going to write down the formula. I'm getting my reference sheet. I'm going to the subtitle volume, and I know that it's length times width times height. So I'm going to come over here, and this, I do expect you to write this on paper. Length times width times height. So I have V equals. If you write this down all the time when you are looking for this on your test, you are going to be halfway there on answering your questions. I'm going to plug in, it says V, which is volume of 64 cubic inches. So I already know that the volume is already 64, but it did not give me the length times the width or the height. So this is what I'm writing down. Please make sure that you have that written down as well. Now I'm going to take this information and I'm going to write that underneath each shape, each of the prisms that I see, so that I can think about, help my brain to understand what am I going to be multiplying, because I need to equal to 64. So here I have, that's the length, the width, and the height. Length, width, height, how tall, length, width, how thick, how tall, length, width, how wide, how tall, length, width, height, how tall, length, width, height, how tall, the length, the width, how thick it is, and how tall is it. Okay, so now I'm going to put 64 times 4 times 4 times 4. 64 equals, the length is 16 times 2 times 2. The formula, I have 64. The volume is 64. That's 8 times 1 times 8. 64 equals 16 times 2 times 16. 64 equals 3 times 3 times 3. And I'm going to place this in the box because there's not a whole lot of room. 64 equals 32 times 1 times 32. All right, now I'm going to multiply. And remember, it's all has to equal up to, what was that? That's right, 64. Okay, so now let's see. 16 times 4. All right, I'm going to work the problem out over here just so that you can see it. 4 times 6 equals, very good, 24. Regroup my 2. 4 times 1 equals 4 plus 2 equals 6. And this makes it a true statement, so it's 64. So A is one of the correct answers. Let's move over here. I know I can, see, I usually go from left. That's the way I do it. 16 times 2, or look at this. 2 times 2 equals 4 times 16. I already figured that out, and that does equal 64. So that's going to be 64. So that's correct. So D is another choice. Let's look at this one here. 8 times 8 equals 64. So 64 times 1 equals 64. So that's a true statement. So B is the next one. So far I have A, B, and D. Anytime you need to pause the video, please do so. That way you can go back, take your time, and look at it. Let's look at this next one. All right, so you can estimate it. I have 16 times 16. Well, if I just do 10 times 10, that's 100. Is it going to get me to 64? Because then I have like 100 times 2. So no, that's not a true statement. So that doesn't work. 3 times 3 is 9 times 3. That's 27. That doesn't work. Okay, 32 times 32. I don't need to multiply that out to see that it won't work. I can just say, well, let me just do an estimation. 30 times 30. Well, I know that there's going to be 2 zeros. I'm going to place that in my product. And 9 times 9 equals, 3 times 3 equals 9. So that's going to be 900. And I still have to add more numbers in. So that's not going to work out. So I know that doesn't work. So my answers that I have, the select of the boxes that fit, that represent that equation, is going to be A, B, and D. Let's flip over to the next side. Number 4. The area of a square is 36 square inches. What is the perimeter of the square? Okay, so now what do I know? I'm going to write area equals. On a square, it's side times side. Is it still length times width? So if you think of it this way, is that still okay? Absolutely. So I'm going to draw out my square. And what do I know about a square? A square has, oops, not the square inches, because that's for the area. But this is the square. All sides are equal. So if area is equal to 36, and I was multiplying something times something, what can I multiply? What times what equals 36? Okay, very good. 6 times 6. So this is going to be 6 and 6. So the side times side, that's equal to 36. If that's the case, then the perimeter equals add all sides. So I can do 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6, or 6 times 1, 2, 3, 4. So here this is 12 plus 12, and the perimeter equals 24. Pay close attention. It's going to be 24 inches. The square here means for the area. This is already the area. What is the perimeter? You're just going to have the inches. Okay, so you got to be very careful. You see that, you've got to know. And we've done a lot of that in class. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Question 5. An exit sign in a building is 10 inches wide and 7 2/10 inches tall. What is the area of the exit sign in square inches? All right, so each of the portable classrooms has an exit sign. It says no exit. And that is, oh, hi, Miss Fadias. She's here. So when y'all see, if you're watching this video tonight, make sure that you say, oh, Miss Fadias, I heard your name on the video. And shout out to Amarai. She did a super job today because she asked me to put her name on the video. So if you look at the both entrances, it has an exit or a no exit. So this side, I'm just going to draw. Since they're not the same size, I know what shape is it? Perfect. It's a rectangle because the square is the only one that has the same size. So I have 10 inches wide. Oops. Kind of did that the wrong shape there, didn't I? Kind of an awkward. It's weird. Okay, so I'm going to do 10 inches wide. Make it a little bit smaller. You know, I don't have to be precise. I don't know why, as I'm trying to rush, really trying to make this look like a rushing it through. That looks a little funky, but anyway, I'm going to let it be. 10 inches wide and 7 2/10 inches tall. Oh my gosh, I'm killing minutes here, aren't I? This is another one wide. 7 2/10 inches. You guys are going to just laugh at me. I'm laughing at myself right now. It's just a sign. And 10 inches here. Okay, there we go. There's my sign. I'm going to write exit. There we go. All right, now we want to know area. First thing you're going to do is write area equals length times width. What do I need to do? The easiest thing, replace those letters with a number. 10 times 7 2/10. And that equals, guys, if I know I have 1 0, so 7 2/10 times 1 is 7 2/10. I have a 0. I'm not going to put that. I only have 1 decimal point. I'm going to move that in. So what does that make it? 72 square inches. Okay. If you don't believe me on that one, you're more than welcome to go ahead and work out that problem like this. I put the 0 on the outside because, guys, anything multiplied by 0 is, that's right, 0. So I'm just going to bring that down. Now I can multiply. 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times 7 is 7. I only have one decimal spot to move in, and that's 1 decimal. So you can see that it's the same product. All right, let's move over to number 6. Carson walks 8/10 kilometers each day for 14 days. Look at this. How many meters does Carson walk during the 14 days? So this is a ding, 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 ding conversion. Ding, 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 ding conversion. So now I'm going to get my reference sheet. I'm going to flip that over. I'm going to have y'all take a look at this because I know a lot of you didn't take it home. I need to change what? I need to convert. Convert means, remember, to change. I'm going to convert kilometers to meters because my author's purpose is to find how many meters. I have 8/10 kilometers, and I walked each day this is going to be, oh my goodness gracious, 8/10 kilometers each day, and this is going to be for 14 days. All right. But before I can do anything, because I can already hear guys out there say, oh, I just need to multiply. Not yet. Because what do we have to do? You could, but I want you to convert. I want you to practice. Okay, we're going to do our input-output table with the center being the rule or the process. I'm going to go from kilometers to meters. So I'm looking at my paper. And because we're talking about distance, the length of something, see my kilometers? So for every 1 kilometer, it's 1,000 meters. So I'm here for every 1 kilometer. I'm setting my rule. It's 1,000 meters. I multiply that by 1,000. Here, I had 8/10. And some of you are like, oh, remember we talked about moving that decimal over, right? So what would it be then? Okay, I'm going to just show you, I'm multiplying it out because I already know that some kids are going to like, I don't remember how, and I want to be able to show you why we do what we do because it's the powers of 10. So if I have 8/10 times 1 and 0, 0, 0, bringing down my 0, 0, 0, 8, and I only had 1, moving this over. Excuse me. Okay, so I put my 1,000. So here's what I'm doing. It becomes 800. So it's going to be 800 meters. How many days did he walk? Very good, 14. So what are we going to do? So this is going to be 14 times my 800. So I'm going to bring down my zeros because anything multiplied by 0 is 0. 8 times 4 equals, very good, 32. Regroup my 3. Order of operation, multiply first. 8 times 1 is 8 plus 3. That makes it 11. And so how many meters did they walk? 11,200 meters. That's pretty incredible. I bow to the people that walk that far. Yay. Okay. All right, let's move to the next one. A container holds 3 gallons of water. What is the capacity of this container in quarts? Okay, this is another. I want you to write the word conversion. Couple of different ways that you can do it. Remember we talked about the gallon man? So I have my 1 gallon and it's 4 quarts, 1 quart, 2 quart, 3 quart, 4 quart. So you can do it that way. And there's 3 gallons. So how many quarts would that be? That's one way of doing it. You can write another one and another one if that's what you want. Or doing the input-output table with your rule. And I want you to get in that habit of looking at your paper. And here we go with our capacity. I know that for every 1 gallon, it's 4 quarts. So I have 1 gallon is equal to 4 quarts. I multiplied that by 4. Well, so then I'm going to have 3 gallons times 4. That equals 12 quarts. Yes, you're right. It is that simple. As long as you use your handy dandy sheet that is legal to use on STAAR. And you'll be using that till you graduate high school. Let's go to the next one on number 8. The masses of 2 animals are given below. Oh, the little gerbil is 70 grams and the poodle is 20 kilograms. What is the difference, in mass of these 2 animals in grams? So I need to change this to grams. Okay, so now let's look at my handy dandy. We're talking about weight and mass. Kilogram, for every 1 kilogram, it's equal to 1,000 grams. So I'm going to do my input-output table. Kilograms, my rule, to grams. So for every 1 kilogram, it's 1,000 grams. My rule is to multiply by 1,000. Well, if I have 20 kilograms and I'm multiplying that by 1,000, it's going to be 20 and then 3 zeros. That's 20,000. Looking over here, because I know that I have to, this is going to be now 20,000 grams. And it says the difference. So I'm going to subtract out. But before I subtract out, I'm going to set up my problem. And you guys know me, I don't like all those zeros. They make me really nervous because it's room for error. But can I already look at it and do process of elimination? Right? If you have 20,000, will 2007 subtracting only 70 would be a possibility? Nope, you can eliminate that. What about 1,930? You have 20,000 and you're only taking 70 away. You're right. Nope. If you're subtracting, what did they do here? Yeah, they added it in. Is that what we're doing? No, we're reducing the total amount. So we got it. So now we're taking that away. So process of elimination, can you now figure out what the answer is? Let's confirm. Again, I'm one who doesn't like to subtract by 0, so I'm going to take 1 away and make it 19,999 minus 70. That's 92991. And then I'm going to add that 1 back in, and it makes it 19,930. And that confirms my answer right there. Pretty simple, right? Again, it's all about using your reference sheet. If you don't use your reference sheet, you're going to really struggle. All the answers are here. It's your guidance to get you to your end result. Let's look at number 9 because we're almost done. Marty made a layer connecting cubes in the bottom of a box. Each cube has a volume of 1 cubic inch. That's just telling you the size of the cube. The base layer of cubes is this one. This is the base layer. It's shown below. Marty will need 8 layers to completely fill the box. What is the volume of the box in cubic inches? First things first, I'm going to go to my sheet, flip this over. Volume, go to my subtitle, take it to volume equals length times width times height. I'm going to write this out here. Volume equals length times width times height. I'm looking at the base. This is my length, my width. 1, 2, 3, 4. What's my length? Very good. I'm going to replace the L with the number 4. Now I'm going to count here. 1, 2, 3. What's my width? Very good. It's 3. I'm going to replace the W with the 3. Now the height I just have here, she says she will need 8 layers. Layers, guys, I always think of those delicious cakes that are stacked. I have the vanilla, then maybe with some, I don't know, some cream or chocolate fill or something, and 8 layers of those type of very fancy cakes that they have. And so I'm looking at height. So my height is going to be 8. This is height. If you get confused for the layers, show it that you're stacking it. And that's going to be your height. Now I'm going to find the volume. 4 times 3 is 12 times 8. If you wanted to do 3 times 8 is 24, then times 4, go for it. It's up to you. Okay, I'm going to do standard algorithm and stack them up just so that you can see. 8 times 2 equals 16. Regroup my 1. 8 times 1 equals 1 plus 1 equals 9. So it's 96 cubic inches. There you go. All right, any questions so far? Make sure you make your notes to the side and bring your questions tomorrow. Make sure that so that we can answer those. This one right here, Ned is filling a box with a small cube or with small cubes. The volume of each cube is 1 cubic centimeter. It's just telling you the size of each one of these. He has already put some of these cubes inside the box as shown in this model. So he started it. He did the length, he started the width, and he did the height. Complete the sentence based on the information. Ned is filling a cube-shaped box or rectangular prism. Let's look at the root word. Cube, we know that it's like a square. All the sides are square, so it makes it all sides are equal on a cube. Rectangular prism, what is the root word of rectangular? Rectangle. What is this here? Excellent. So this makes it a rectangular prism. Prism means that 3-dimensional. With a volume of, all right, now let's figure that out. Volume, we said that it was volume equals or V equals length times width times height. I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's my length. My length is 6. 1, 2, 3. My width is 3. I'm going to count the height. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So my height is 9. Now, I'm not going to, today, we were counting where y'all were just doing this and you missed a box. I want you to actually put the numbers in there so that you can confirm that that's exactly what you're counting. Now, I'm going to plug in my numbers. I have 6. 3 was my width, and my height is 9. Now, the volume equals 18 times 9. I want you to look at your answer choices. What can you already eliminate that you know will make no sense at all? That's exactly right. The 18 you can eliminate because you're still going to be multiplying that up. The 27, look, that's 3 times 9 is 27. Well, you still have to add 6 more groups to that, so you can eliminate that. I'm going to kind of just estimate, if I had 10 times 9, that's already going to be 90. I still have 8 more to multiply that by. So there's no way it's going to be 97. So I'm thinking it's going to be 162. Let's check it out. 18 times 9. Okay, 9 times 8 equals, very good, 72. Regroup my 7. 9 times 1 equals 9, plus 7 more is 16. And there you go. It's 162. So I'm going to place 162 here. The unit of measure, we already said that it was going to be cubic because you can see it's already given. So you're going to write cubic, and it's already in centimeters. And I'm going to put the CUCM for the abbreviation as well. That's it for tonight, guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Write down your questions. Remember, it's only the ones that you're still confused about or what you need clarification. Place this in your folder of I got this or not there yet. See you tomorrow. Bye.